Good evening from Retriever. It is Wednesday, October 4th. We just got back from Walmart getting groceries and just chilling a little bit. But we decided to do a video since it's been a while that we've done one. And we wanted to show the map. Again, a few people have asked us like where we are. And so again, we started right here around Baltimore, went up to Chesapeake City, down the Delaware Bay to Cape May, up the coast to New York City, up the Hudson River, across the Erie Canal, and then we ducked up Lake Ontario to Clayton, and then went through the canal system, the Trent Severn, and then we went up to the Georgian Bay and ended up in Mackinac, which is right here. And then we had 317 miles. I remember that because Lake Michigan was beautiful and challenging. And we're about right here now. We came in on Randy's birthday on September 20th. We've been here 2 weeks, and we'll be here about another week. And then we leave. This is Chicago, and this is what starts the lock system that we've been held up since October 1st. They opened, and then everybody was held up another 5 days. So that's where we'll start down the river system. Just thought I'd bring you up to date. We think we've gone about 2,000 miles so far.
So that was sort of a capsulized again of the map and everything. I wanted to do a video mainly because we did a 2-day trip to Chicago. This was a very hard video for me to do. I had over an hour's worth of tape, film, whatever, and I've been committed to try and keep these things around 15 minutes. So what you're going to see is a little bit of our trip. The main thing we did was called an agricultural tour.
Architectural tour.
That's what I said, an architectural tour.
It's a mouthful.
of the city. I'm not going to narrate it. The whole tour took an hour and a half, and it's well worth doing. But what I did do, we had an excellent docent. She was amazing. She knew everything about everything in Chicago. So I tried to pick out some key points and let her voice narrate the video. What else did we?
Well, I was just going to interject. A lot of the flotillas were supposed to leave October 1st. We all got bumped to 5 days. So tomorrow is the day that some of them will start leaving. They leave a day or two ahead of time to stage, so they're ready to leave on day 5.
Right, we're going to Joliet, Indiana.
Joliet, Illinois.
Oh,
we're in Indiana, but...
Yeah, that's what I said, Joliet, Illinois.
Yes.
That's what I said. So we'll video a lot of that. We'll keep it posted. There's not a lot to see and do here in Hammond. We'll have been here 3 weeks. So I hope you like this video. I actually thought it was a terrible video to do. Spent hours. But I think I'm kind of proud of it. I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's pretty good. So watch it to the end, please.
Yeah, Chicago really was amazing. It was kind of hard to navigate for us, with the GPS, and we were told that the GPS doesn't like Chicago, but the buildings, just the immensity of the city, we're so not used to that with visiting so many small towns and living in a small town. It was amazing. It was nice to visit, but it was nice to be back to home sweet home. It was nice to sleep in a king-size bed, too, and take a shower that I didn't have to wipe down.
So I'm going to start the Chicago tour. If you hear me singing Chicago, Chicago, my kind of town in the background, just ignore that. I've been singing that for 2 days. Yeah.
Following the ferry.
This was the architectural tour that we took in Chicago. It's about a 90-minute boat ride, and it was fascinating. Obviously, I couldn't just all of it, but I'm going to let some of it just run because our tour guide was exceptional. So I tried to pick a few things, and I'll just let it speak for itself.
Of Art Deco is verticality. It gets you to look up, and look at how it does that with those thin stripes of windows recessed back and uninterrupted columns of stone running up the front. It remains one of the tour favorites. The bend in this building, this beautiful curve, and you'll see that curve once again reflected or imitated down above the entry area. This is River Point. It was completed in 2017 by Picard and Chilton. And the mass of this building is set back away from the river. When it first opened, it was a cold storage warehouse for all the perishable freight of the ships passing by. They would stop and drop off everything that needed to be refrigerated. This guy is the Kedzie Street Railroad Bridge, 1908. It's a single-leaf trunnion bascule bridge. That's a Chicago invention. Partners building, this time coming up over on your left. It's this sawtooth glass building. It's got the serrated edge. And that, a lot of people love that, including the real estate company that owns the building, because it creates a whole lot more revenue with more corner offices. But what I love about this building is the way that it meets the ground. These silver stainless steel tridents establish such a strong riverfront presence and shelter that building from, and provide great shelter for their riverwalk. The Cooper and the Reed have been completed. They have all sorts of amenities, including a farm for their restaurant, and they also have beehives. And we've heard that the urban bees are very happy because of all the native plants down here, so they're thriving. This is River City, and it was designed by a man named Bertram Goldberg, and it was completed in 1986. Mr. Goldberg was a man who liked to think different. In a city that loved Mies van der Rohe's right angles and rectangles, Bertram Goldberg loved the curve. Now we're coming up to our astonishing 150 North Riverside. I want to tell you one more fact about that building. You can't see it. Up on the top floor is what is called a tuned liquid damper system, one of the first that was used in the city. Example of which is this behemoth, this sand-colored behemoth coming up over here on our left. This is the Mart, and it was completed in 1930, Graham, Anderson, Probst, and White. It was originally the warehouse for the Marshall Field and Company retail giant. And remember the guy that loved the curve? Well, this was his first project. 1965, Bertrand Goldberg. They had a theater, they had parking, they had a marina, they had everything that they needed, including wonderful balconies, which the residents that are there today still, yes, it was designed by Jeannie Gang. That beautiful palette of blue-green glass, yes, it is a wonderful watercolor addition to our lakefront, but it does something else. There's 6 different shades of glass, and those provide solar protection too. It's over on your left. This is Lake Point Tower. It was completed in 1968 by 2 young architects, Shipperite and Heinrich. But you might wonder why a Ferris wheel, and that's a great one. Accommodates 400 people, weather-controlled cars, so it's a fun ride. But, you know, maybe you don't know that the Ferris wheel was invented in Chicago. Back in 1893, Chicago hosted the Columbian Exposition about 7 miles south of here. This is my kind of town, Chicago.
Here's where I wanted to sing a few bars of My Kind of Town by Frank, but I cannot do it because of copyright laws, so just imagine it in your head. This is the view from our hotel, the Hilton Garden at Riverwatch, I think it's called. Hilton Hotel. Have probably one drink too many, but how often do you come to Chicago on a boat from